Hello everybody, it's Donovan again. I'm on my priest. I was going to give you a little bit of rundown on how I set my priest up. There's a lot of things going on with a priest. It's going to be a little bit different than that pally I showed you yesterday in that basic setup. But here's my basic UI. And I like to keep my raid frames right up here, so all my healing is more centralized. I don't have to drop my eyes down to the bottom, keep my eye off or to take my eye off what I'm standing in and what's going on around me. But if I cast a couple spells here, you'll see a couple dots and stuff show up on my screen here. On my raid frame, there's a purple. You see it's got a little triangle. It starts moving yellow. Another triangle sticking out of it. It's green. Stops at 3. So what is that? Okay, that's a buff, right? And if we come up to our buffs up here, you might be able to barely see it, but there's a 3 inside that. But there's 3 stacks of grace. Okay, and as we all know, for a healer, that's pretty important. It went away. The buff there went away. So if we put buff back up, we got 2. There's 2 little triangles out of it. 2 stacks. Ah, crap. But we see there's 8 seconds remaining. There's also a timer on these stacks too, so you can look and see what kind of buff's happening right there. So that's kind of important to be able to track, but VuhDo does not track that by itself right away. There it is. Panels, hot icons. I actually had to add it on there. There's all these different things that you can add on there. You can just pop grace, your own, others, so it shows other people's as well. And there you go. So basically that's why you get to be able to see that. I also like to have my shield shown. There's my shield. That's weaken soul, the debuff. So you cannot, whenever you see that, you cannot throw another shield on. But it gives you little countdown timers. Renew, the little red dot underneath it there, is the renew timer. And again, it's got some countdowns. So you can actually start really filling this thing up with indicators. 3 stacks of grace, weaken soul, shield, renew. Good stuff. Yeah, it starts to get a little bit hectic in there, so you can pick and choose what you like to see and how you see fit. And go over how I set up my spells. For my basic, I have a 5-button mouse, a Razor Imperator. I use heal, greater heal, flash heal, and you notice these are macros. They aren't actually spells. So basically, what I did was I took greater heal and created a macro for it. And the reason being is inner focus right here. I want to be able to use that on cooldown. But if you don't use this little UI airframe clear, you'll get this spam way up at the top. You can't do that yet. You can't do that yet. You can't do that yet. That spell's not ready yet. Blah, blah, blah. Shut up. But, so I created this little macro to include inner focus, to clear the air, and then to cast. Add VuhDo is a little shortcut for basically, saying cast it at the target that you're hovering over on your raid frame, and then the spell name. So once I created that macro, then my right button actually casts that macro. And if we look at it, if you watch down on inner focus, when I right click up here, it'll automatically go ahead and set that off at the same time. There was only one click there and I cast inner focus and greater heal at the same time. Now that means I didn't use any mana on it, so that's a good thing. I don't have to think about or click that anymore to try and save mana. Good stuff. But there's greater heal, flash heal macros, same thing only with flash heal. I use power word shield for my back thumb button, renew for my front one. Alt, we talked about it yesterday. I keep alt for queuing, curing diseases and dispelling magic. My shift is my penance. Binding heal is also a macro, just like the other ones. Prayer of healing, forward thumb button. Back thumb button is the prayer of mending. So I have a lot of stuff here where I don't even have to come down here to my spells. It's all right on my mouse. And control, which I talked about yesterday, is all about my the commands using those raid frames. So yeah, that's pretty much the score on those. And you see I have my pets over here. They're out of the way, so if I have time I can come over and heal up a pet. But otherwise, everybody's right up here. Take it easy.